Shabbos. Start with a nigun this evening. We will be using the Mishkan Tefillah prayer book. If you didn't grab one on your way in, they're right by the door. But we start with a wordless nigun. There will be no pages for this one. Just to get us breathing together, we sing together or meditate together. Get us all on the same spiritual page. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Think you can join me? Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Now you know it, you sing it with me. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. How good and how pleasant it is for us to be together, to spend Shabbat, this day of rest in this dark and rainy night. Hine Matov, page 128. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 A meditation before lighting the Shabbat lights. Sit quietly, relax, close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling slowly. As you inhale, imagine that you are breathing in waves of healing energy. Feel these waves flow through your entire body. Feel this energy embrace your soul force and your spirit. As you exhale, envision any negative energy, any pain, tension, stress, fatigue, or grief being released from your body, carried away on the soft wind of your breath. With every breath, feel the narrow places within you opening, expanding, becoming filled with waves of deep relaxation and healing energy. Feel this happening in your feet, legs, hips, hands, arms, shoulders, abdomen, spine, chest, neck, head, face. Imagine you are living in the time of Sarah Imanu. See yourself as a guest in Sarah's tent of healing. It is Erev Shabbat. See yourselves lighting Shabbat candles with her. See yourself extending your arms, making circles of light to bring the external light of the candle flames inside you. Envision your hands glowing with a pure white, radiant light. See this light moving up the entire length of your arms and from your arms to your body. As you hold your hands over your eyes, see this light flowing to your eyes, to your face and head. See how your entire being is filled with the light of these candles. See yourself as a body of light, knowing that you are a vessel of the light of eternity. Hold on to this image as you now become aware once more of your breath and the boundaries of your body. As you take a few deep breaths, become aware of the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Become aware once more of your presence in this room. Then, when you are ready, slowly, gently, open your eyes. Shabbat candle lighting is on page 120 in the prayer book. Take my light-filled arms, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lechad likneh, Shel Shabbat. Turning back to page 128. Ma Yafeh Hayom, how beautiful is this day, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. As the sun sets and Shabbat comes into the world, Jews in all nations are joyful and prolific in their welcoming this holy time with psalms and songs of praise. It is customary to sing Psalm 29, Kol Adonai, the voice of God, is kavod va'oz, full of glory and strength. Kol Adonai bakoach, powerful. Kol Adonai behadar, majestic. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. May Adonai grant strength to God's people. Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. May God bless his people with peace. Page 136 and 137. It's a lot of Hebrew, so feel free to follow the transliteration, but please join me if you know it. Mizmor David, Ave Adonai b'nei Elim, Ave Adonai, Kavod va'oz, Ave Adonai, Kevod Shemo, Yishtachavu Adonai b'Harat Kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, turning the page to a piyut that we save, which is exclusively for Shabbat. It comes from a mystical tradition. This poem was written by Shlomo Alkabetz in the 16th century, and it tells of the story of the tradition of the mystics of Svat, who would go out in the fields at the setting sun and call out to Shekhinah, the dwelling presence of God, to come and join them and be with them, be married to them as a bride during the time of Shabbat. So this is a wedding song. So when we get to our final verse, you may notice the word in this final verse, kala, the last line, boi, kala, come bride, come bride. And if you have ever been to a wedding, and I'm sure some of you have, when the bride comes in, we stand and we face the bride. So that is the origin of this tradition. We stand and we face the door and we welcome the Shabbat bride to the room. And that is why we don't do this on Tuesday or Thursday. We do this at the entrance of Shabbat as we welcome Shekhinah. So I will do verses 1, 2, 8, and 9. We will do verses 1, 2, 8, and 9. And when we get to verse 9, that's when she comes in, Shekhinah. We rise, we face the door, and welcome her in. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el yuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'li tehila lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha meirosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshavat tehila lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 8, Yamin u'smol tifrotzi v'yet Adonai taritzi al yadish ben partzi v'nismucha v'nagila lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Rise and face the door. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'toch olam toch emuneh am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala Be seated. We have welcomed the Shabbat bride. Shekhinah is here. We also now welcome the angels to join us, to come down from their angelic realm, their heavenly place, and join us. Shalom Aleichem, page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We transition now from Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming Shabbat, bringing her into the room with us. We are fully present, and now it's time to really pray with sincerity, with a full heart, full body, full breath. And we cross that bridge with our transitionary prayer, our Chatzi Kaddish, which can be found on page 144. If it is your custom, feel free to rise. Yitkadal, yitkada, shemei rabba, ve'amad yivrach yute, ve'amlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchayedecho beit Yisrael, bagala, bagala, uvizman kari ve'imeru, amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach, le'olam le'olmei olmaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei dekodesha berichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalma v'imeru. Amen. We rise for Baruch Hu, page 146, facing toward Jerusalem, which is kind of that way. I will do the call, the first phrase, if you will do the answer. Baruch Hu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. Turning to page 148, Ma'ariv Aravim. This is where we bless the God of creation who creates day and night with just a word, with speech. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bibaruch שערים ובדבונה משנה עתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו בורא יום ולילה כולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור וחושך מפני אור ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרביב. Turning the page to Ahavat Olam, page 150. This is the first slice of our love sandwich. Is Ahavat Olam, everlasting love. God's love for us is everlasting, unconditional, all-consuming, and we feel ourselves wrapped in God's love. And then we turn to Shema, and we turn back to God, and we proclaim our love and our unity with Shema. And the other, so that's the meaty center of our sandwich, or if you're a vegetarian, it could be your tempeh, tofu, beans, I don't know, whatever it is, something yummy and delightful and nutritious, and that's our Shema. And then the other slice of bread, the thing that holds it all together, is the Ve'ahavta from Deuteronomy, our pledge to keep God's presence and God's Torah in our hearts. Beginning with the first slice. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד כי חיים חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה נגה יומם ולילה באהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael turning to page 154, the first and last paragraphs of V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'shachbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam lehot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. And as it is as much a commandment to say these words as it is to say it in words that are meaningful to you in the moment, we are commanded to speak it in our native tongues, so we will do it now in English. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. In Torah this week, we recall the final plague upon the Egyptians, and our ancestors hastily escaped from slavery toward freedom. And every day in our liturgy, morning and evening, we recall this story of our redemption through the sea. And in fact, we will be reading this particular part from Torah next week, next Shabbat. This Micha Mocha is the mark of our bond with the Holy One of Blessing, and we marvel at God's splendor working wonders. Who is like you, O God? Micha Mocha, page 158. Micha Mocha, Bailim Adonai, Micha Mocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, Osefele, Nora Tehilot, Osefele, Malechutecha Rauvanecha, Bokei Ayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Seiri Anu כיפדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גא ישראל. Let us read together page 161, the lower paragraph. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into the shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over Jerusalem and yours. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Page 160, third line down. Uferos aleinu sukat, sukat, shlomecha. Uferos aleinu sukat, sukat, shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant through all times. Another one of our famous quotes from the Exodus story that the Israelites promised that they would keep the covenant with God, observing Shabbat. Page 162. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafesh. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafesh. come now to Amidah Tefillah, the standing prayer, an opportunity for you to rise and go in to the room where God stands, wherever that room is, in your heart, in your body, in this room, in the air that you breathe. There are words to Amidah in the prayer book, page 164 to 181. Feel free to let these be a guide to you in private prayer, or fold the book and say what's in your heart. We rise. Adonai sifata tiftach ufi yagid einatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Ose shalom imromam, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'yako Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ose shalom imromam, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'yako Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yase shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'yimeru. Amen. We add to our prayers spoken aloud and spoken silently a prayer for healing in our community and people that you may be feeling in your own communities that you'd like to say a prayer for. I'm going to check the Bima to see if there's a list here. So we are saying prayers this week in our community for Charles Ronkin, Judy Schlessel, Zahava Batdan, Gabriel Commissar, Stephen Wilner, Roz Bolsky, Graham Ross, Kathy Jarrett Tremper, Ariel Roberts, Shifra Basha, Esther Rachel Bat Daniel Bat Abigail, Ruchel Mura Bat Carmen, David Ephraim Cantor, Kathy Weiner, Yael White, Owen Seiter, Sarah Silverman, and any whose names you wish to add at this time to bring healing wings to them. Yishaberach can be found on page 109. I'll give you a minute. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor Abracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. I'm going to share with you this evening some words from Rabbi Tali Adler on Parsha Bo, which we will be reading today, this Shabbat. Whose story do we tell on the Seder night? The answer, in fact, at first seems obvious. The story we tell is our own, the story of the deliverance from slavery to freedom. It is the core story of our people. It is the grand drama of Jewish history in which we are all enmeshed today. But this week's parasha offers another interpretation, one in which God, not only ourselves, is at the center of the story. Shemot 13, verse 8 says, "You shall tell your child on that day, saying, 'It is because of what God did for me when I left Egypt.'" This verse, imagining a parent telling their child about the Exodus, includes two central figures, not just the parent, but God. The parent does not just tell their own story, it is the story of them and God together. It is not only the story of the Jewish people we tell on the Seder night. On the night of the year most devoted to storytelling, we tell our children God's story as well. A midrash in Devarim Rabbah tells a story of what happened to the Jewish baby boys born in Egypt and sentenced to death in the Nile. In response to Pharaoh's decree, Jewish women, unwilling to condemn their sons to death, ventured into the wilderness to give birth to their babies, away from Egyptian eyes. When the babies were born, their mothers, understanding that to bring their babies back with them meant certain death, turned to God. "I have done my part," they said, "and now it is time for you, God, to do yours." And according to the Midrash, God did. Further along, Devarim Rabbah says, Reb Haya the Great said, "May the name of the Holy Blessed One be praised, since he himself cared for them. The babies grew in the field like grass, and as they grew, they returned to their homes in flocks." This is what Yehezekel said, "You grew like the grass of the field." God becomes a surrogate mother to the Jewish people's abandoned babies. The image of the God of this midrash offers is markedly different from the one usually conjured in Torah's Exodus account. Whereas in Shemot, God is often understood as a warrior fighting to free the Jewish people from Egypt, the God of this midrash is a mother caring for her infant. Whereas in Torah, God cares for his children by bringing punishment and death to others, the God of this midrash cares for her children the way we do, by nursing them, washing them, and cherishing them. Eventually, when the danger has passed and it is time for the children to be returned to their parents, God brings the children home. How did they know which home was their family's? The Holy Blessed One accompanied them, pointing each and every one to his parents' home, and said, "Call your father this and call your mother that." The children would say to their mothers, "Don't you remember when you gave birth to me on this day in that field 5 months ago?" God's kindness to the lost children of Egypt is not limited to the care God gives them while their parents cannot care for them. God's kindness extends to making sure that the children know who they are, telling them their parents' names, the circumstances of their births, and where they came from. In a world in which the Egyptians intended to extinguish Jewish families, God rebuilds those families by making sure that Jewish children know who they are. In this midrash, God saves the Jewish people by making sure that our children know their parents and their parents' stories. The midrash concludes with another reunion, this time between God and the children at the Yam Suf, the Sea of Reeds. When they came to the sea and saw him, they pointed him out to their mothers with their fingers and said to them, "This is my God, and I will honor him. This is the one who raised me in the fields." This is my God, and I will honor him. It is the children God cared for who first recognized God as the greatest miracle the Jewish people have ever experienced. Not as the great warrior who has saved them from the pursuing Egyptians, but as the one who raised them and returned them to their homes. In this ending, the Midrash offers us a glimpse of what the Seder night might be, a chance to return God's favor to us, the parents who passed through Egypt. Every family that gets to care for their own children, to feed and raise them themselves, is tasting one of the most immeasurable gifts of freedom. When we raise our children ourselves, we have the merit to do for them what God did for the children of Egypt, dressing them, holding them close, and loving them. Care is the gift of freedom. It is a gift not all of our ancestors had, and a gift still denied to many today. And yet, the side effect of the harrowing upbringing of those slave children was growing up with God. When they grew up, they recognized God immediately. It came as naturally to them as recognizing our own parents when they come to us. Our children, cherished by human hands, do not grow up recognizing God the way they recognize their own parents. In a world where God sometimes feels impossibly far away, this gift of raising our own children, one of the most precious human beings can hope for, also means we have a responsibility. Just as God told our children our stories when we were absent, we must tell our children God's story as well. On the Seder night, we step into God's role. Whereas God in Egypt told those children their parents' stories, making sure they would understand how to be part of their families when they were reunited on the Seder night, we tell our children stories of God, making sure that when they encounter God in the world, they will recognize him. Just as God taught our children our names and stories when we were unable to, on the Seder night, in a world where it sometimes feels like God is our absent parent, we tell our children about God. And in telling our children the story of the Exodus, we are telling them who God is. This is God's name, we say, and this is his story. God gave birth to us long ago in a land called Egypt. This is how you will recognize God when you meet him. He is the one who frees slaves and loves the brokenhearted. He is the one who cares for those no one else cares for. He is the one who brings lost children home. We will proceed to the closing blessings with Aleinu on page 586. And please rise. Begins on the bottom half of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושבי קרוב השמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. Ein od, page 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, may be found on page 598. This week in our community, we are remembering the yahrzeits of Justin Bednarski, Marvin Bleiberg, Sonia Chenman, Ami Cohen, Eva Ellison, Bruce Furman, Evelyn Bernstein, Louise Herman, Nathan Katz, Norris Crone, Norman Langzam, Larry LeBlanc, Susan Luria, Jack Moss, Abraham Naftali, Mary Orenstein, Lance Rook, and we note the Shiva and Shloshim for Marjorie Gingel and Sheila Schwiff Rosenfield. Those who are in mourning, please rise. Those who wish to join them, please rise for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash me rabba, v'alma divrach hirte, v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman ka'ari v'imru, amen. Yehe shmei rabba mavarach le'alam ume almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. A few announcements. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., you are welcome to join the traditional egalitarian minyan for Shabbat morning service in this room. And after the sun sets, after Havdalah, there will be a pop-up event, the movie The Brutalist. Join Rabbi Tom this coming Saturday for a screening of The Brutalist, a powerful Oscar-nominated film starring Adrian Brody as a visionary Jewish architect who comes to America for the Holocaust. Please note it is a long film, so don't drink a lot before you come. We recommend you buying tickets online as soon as possible because seating is limited. This is going to be at the Violet Crown, and they have graciously agreed to let us remain in the theater for a brief discussion afterward. There are details along with links for the film trailer and the ticket website in this week's email newsletter. And then on Sunday at 3 p.m., Mel Leffler will give a lecture as part of the CBI lecture series, 9/11, The Invasion of Iraq, Extrapolating Lessons for the Aftermath of October 7th. So this talk, which is based on UVA history professor and CBI member Mel Leffler's recent book, Confronting Saddam Hussein, he will examine why George Bush's invasion of Iraq turned into a tragedy while also investigating the parallels to Israeli actions in the aftermath of the Hamas attack on October 7th, 2023. And so that's, I'm assuming it will be in Omansky Hall, 3 o'clock on Sunday. Any other announcements anyone would like to make? There is enough wine and challah for all of us after the service, so I hope you will join us for a little kibitzing, because that's also, I don't know if that's a commandment, but it's something that I think we all need, a little community. Before we do that, let us close with Adon Olam, our closing song on page 625. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Li'ed Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei kichlot hakol Levado Yimruch Nora Ve'hu Aya Ve'hu Hove Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Ve'hu Echad V'yein Sheni Lehamshilo Ve'achbira Ve'li Reshit Ve'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizrach Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goali Ve'tzur Chevli Ve'yitzara Ve'hu Nisi U'manosli Ve'nadozi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'ado Avkid Ruchi Ve'yeti Sham Ve'ayira Ve'im Ruchi Geviati Adonai Li Ve'lo Hira. Shabbat Shalom. Please join me for Kiddush and Oneg, or I guess it's just a Kiddush unless you count challah as Oneg. Sure, little carbs. And goodbye to everyone who's watching on YouTube. And I would ask you to put your books on the shelf there on your way out. And we'll say Kiddush in the other room. Shabbat Shalom.